got standard lanes and dominated the mid game? No, they didn't. They lane swapped and played a very macro-heavy style League of Legends.
The amount they were ahead was very similar to
but
that
they
of
did it at 20 minutes.
Vici
did it from minute number 3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Vici definitely should be looking for standard lanes, in my opinion. I think the games went a little bit differently. But two red side victories is something to point out.
Yeah, and of course, 2 Lissandra victories as well. WE have identified that here and are looking to take away that pick. It already has gone to 9-5-7. We'll see whether GA decides to pick it up in the mid lane there as well. Very flexible for WE especially.
I'm sure Zero can play it as well.
That's a very good point. Condi can probably jungle it. Who knows?
That doesn't work.
Doesn't it?
No.
No.
You go
A bit too cooldown dependent as well, I could imagine. Hard to build the attack speed on the old Lissandra. But it is going to be the Echo once again here for long. Could possibly go to Easy Hoon or Dandy, but they are not known to play it.
Yeah. Potentially Dandy. Dandy has actually been known to play it in the past.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah, you're definitely right. Oh my god, WE though, setting themselves up for what could be a very similar team comp to last time as that bottom lane is being looked at. The Bard has been locked in. There's the Sivir for Mystic. Looking very frightening. They will have to change up the jungler, but otherwise, it's looking like everything going the same.
Yeah, and potentially this time they just pick up the Kindred for themselves.
Yeah.
Does arguably a better job within the composition. Has great consistent damage, great chase potential. WE have already proven that they can win with this comp, and Vici have proven that they can lose with this comp, so we'll see if anything else happens in between.
And it is very projected as well. I mean, it looks like we are going to have a last pick support. Everything exactly where it is going to be played here from Vici, so predictable. WE will be able to pick accordingly, and it's exactly what you said, Spawn. The Karma, why change it? Because it worked so well in game number 2, and there's the Kindred being looked at from Condi. Has been one of his most played champions, in fact, his most played champion so far, especially in the regular split. We'll see whether they do take it here, because WE made this comp look very, very good in a team fight last game. See whether it is going to pay off this game, as it is locked away. So there it is. Final team comp for WE, just going to be a mix-up of the Graves for the Kindred.
And as I said, Kindred honestly makes a lot of sense in this composition.
Yeah.
Especially if you go the Hurricane route, because you get a little bit further ahead in the early game. So we'll see if Condi is able to utilize that. And a very similar composition out of Vici as well. Thresh would be an adaptation, but I don't expect to see it. I expect to see the Braum, just to stop some of the AoE that comes out of Sivir. It's very important to be able to keep your members alive.
Yeah, and of course, Caveman was known for his Thresh play quite a while ago. Hasn't stepped back to it in a little while, and it has always been a very strong lane.
They just also need initiation, honestly. And Braum will give that to them with the Flash ultimate. Caveman really is torn here, however.
Yeah. 5 seconds to go. He's looking to be sticking to the Braum here, but Vici haven't changed up too much in game number 3. We'll see whether they are going to be able to get things done, as WE's lineup still looking incredibly strong.
So it looks like they tend to agree. I think that composition had very little to do with it.
Yeah?
I think that the scaling on WE certainly has to be acknowledged, and the lack of hard initiation in the mid laner seemed to irk Easy Hoon a little bit.
Yep.
But it really was the lane swap and the fact that WE just put the game on ice until about 30 minutes in, whereas Vici flew out of the gates in game number 1 and were able to generate a gold lead. So would be interested to see if Vici invade for deep vision and see if they can get standard lanes, or if they can't, what adaptations they have to this lane swap. Do they push the first wave through? Do they look to utilize Graves' Echo, who have great wave clear, and see if they can shove the second wave very, very hard and pick up an early Rift Herald, for example, and pressure out the mid lane? Will be interesting to see what Vici, a very smart team, try and throw at WE this time around.
Yeah, or whether they even just chase the laning phase as well. I mean, see the lane swap and then just move their bottom lane around. We've seen it happen before in order to try and dodge out of the way of these situations.
So you're talking about pushing the first wave, then going back?
Yeah.
The danger with that is that you're going to give Bard an experience lead over Braum.
Scary.
And he already does a lot of work. So I think they either get it from the start or they figure out a way to win the lane swap.
Well, we'll see whether they can actually manage to do that here, because it didn't work out so well for Vici. Seemed like they were relying on a strong laning phase in order to win the game, but Dandy back on the Graves now. Lots of comfort for Vici here as well, and we'll see whether they can take it in game number 3. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back onto the Rift for game number 3 between WE and Vici. Everything tied up as we move into match point territory for both of these teams. Best of 5 series. It's a bit of a gauntlet. We'll see whether the adaptation, the slight adaptation made by both of these teams is going to be able to push them ahead.
And really, Atlas, we're only about 2 hours into what is a 5 to 6 hour series.
Exactly.
So
Well, we said 7 hours from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so far, we're on track.
yeah, we've shaved. Actually, I think we've shaved some time off.
Whoa. That's true. I mean, it's only sort of 37-minute games.
You know, skip that bathroom break. Kids
Yep.
didn't get lunch. But, you know, we're making good time.
That's exactly right. Thank you very much, WE and Vici. I want you to step it up, though. 70 minutes. Let's do it. I am ready.
Are you?
What is the longest game we've got? 72 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. That was an OPL game, though.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even.
No, it wasn't. That was
an Oceanic pro game.
inverted
Use
commas
the term
necessary here, I
lightly.
think. Yeah, exactly right.
I'm liberal with the use of that term. Of course, that also had Illusion in it
It did.
and went absolutely berserk towards the end of the game.
We'll see whether that is going to pay off here for Vici, as it does look like the lane swap is going to be achieved here for WE. Mystic and Zero towards the top side of the map. Blind, by the looks of things. It's now Easy Hoon. We'll see whether he can push his advantage a little bit further. Was ahead in CS the entire game last time around. And Long is going to make his way up, try and steal away the first few of these creeps. 957 able to do the same thing. Grabs it with a Q. Very cute stuff. And Zero, half health right now, but just wanted to tank up the Gromp for his AD carry.
Long a little bit cheeky, tries to stick around for the end of that creep wave. Doesn't get the experience, gets chased off, as he should have been.
Yes.
But Braum coming in here will be a little bit late. See whether he can stop up the Raptor camp.
Yeah, Caveman. Can you get the smite out of
you
him
got the
this
little
time?
one?
Oh, doesn't get that one, though.
But burns the Raptor sense immediately.
Very nice.
Annoying.
So, points for Caveman. And what we're going to be trying to do is identifying the changes that Vici are going to make to this lane swap in order to get themselves ahead.
Yeah, I feel that's really key. And look, we talk about lane swaps all the time. And they really are just as easy as jumping into a custom game of practicing them.
Yeah.
Letting the first 3 die. Seeing where you go from there. In fact, you can do it with just your team. You can send your mid laner into top lane and just kill the first 3 creeps with your mid laner on the other side. And then literally just play the 4v nothing, because that's what it is. And the adaptation should be that they make Graves join a lot quicker. Like, just forget about the Rift, Scuttler. Get Graves into the swap, because Graves pushes so phenomenally quick. However, that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Instead, they're just brute forcing it with 3. They've got a bigger creep wave right now. And we'll see whether they are able to win this race. It looks like one more time they are going to win the bottom end race, but they're going to have to wait for creeps to die, so it will slow down a little bit. And they give Soul Gold over to Long. So nothing different out of Vici's lane swap as of yet.
I have a feeling this is sort of the early stage of the lane swap. Often very predictable, often very similar things are going to happen each time around. And I have a feeling now is the time where Vici really need to make the change. As both of the turrets going to fall at exactly the same time.
Yeah, but once again, Siva picks up gold, whereas Lucian does not. Just shows that they're willing to put a little bit more carry emphasis on Mystic.
Makes a lot of sense.
And one more time, top laners hang around for a little bit, like bad smells. Mystic picks up a pink ward. On the other side, that responsibility falls to Caveman. So this is the exact same lane swap that we saw out of game number 2.
We'll see whether the inner turrets are going to fall at the same time or whether we are going to have early defense from either of these teams. Could be promoting the skirmish.
And once again, Lung pushes. And the problem with pushing in this situation is that the wave starts from much further back. And when a wave starts from further back, you have 2 options. You can freeze it, which if you can defend the turret is beautiful because it means you deny a lane of farm. Or you can accelerate it very quickly the other way, which means you actually get a bigger wave to hit the turret. As you can see right now, they've accelerated it very quickly. That means no creeps will dive in this wave because you're not slowly building it up. You're just getting as big a stack as quickly as possible and shoving it into that creep wave. So we'll see whether Endless is able to beat them to the turret right now, or whether it's going to just be Mystic and 957 once again joining forces with Zero. They'll just try and hold it just in front of this turret with this creep wave right here. Once again, no creeps are going to dive because it's such a big creep wave that it will just snowball incredibly quickly. And honestly, Vici are doing the exact same thing. They're taking
the same again.
Rift Herald one more time, Creep wave's already here. There's a big wave coming.
Well,
and the race is on.
We'll see whether the Rift Herald is going to go down quick enough for Vici to be able to get a little bit more time onto it. But you're exactly right. I mean, we've skipped the early game laning phase. It's WE's style of League of Legends that we're playing right now, and Vici need to find a way to stop this because we've seen this story before.
So this time, however, they have run out of creeps a little bit earlier. So they're going to have to back off and wait for this creep wave. Whereas Rift Herald's already on the turret, and we've spoken about it before. Graves is a monster at taking down turrets.
Yeah, you can see melee range right now.
So they don't push through this time around. They send 2 people back immediately. And it's going to be 957 that picks up the solo gold down here in the bottom lane. And that means that the gold will be eaten by the duo lane of WE. And no adaptation means that, honestly, if this game follows the exact same course, Vici only have themselves to blame, Atlas. And like a disappointed father.
You look on in disgust?
No,
I believe is the quote.
On. That's out of context. Now people don't know what you're talking about. I look like a madman. You look like a madman.
I already look like a madman. Come on. It's absolutely fine. As Mystic, you're exactly right, able to clear this one up. So no inner turrets to fall down. WE, maybe, I mean, we'll see whether that's going to be the change that Vici needed. Has slowed it down just a little bit.
Somehow going even in a game is not the change
no,
that you
it's not
needed.
ideal. Not ideal.
In a game where you snowballed, got a lead early, and then won game 1 quite convincingly, went even until 20 minutes, game 2, and lost. Don't think going even in the early game was part of the plan.
I like that you told us your thought process, though. That's the best part.
That's what I'm here for, mate. You don't like it, tune out.
It's sort of your job. 200 gold, though, the lead for Vici. Very similar to game number 1. They were able to pick up a little bit more as far as that farm was concerned, but you can see the mid lane actually going a little bit better here for GA.
But the one good piece of news, if you are a Vici fan, is that Lung gets a one-on-one a little bit earlier this time around.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a lot. That keeping 957 out of Lung's lane, they were just picking up side lane farm and kind of jockeying for position, seemed to really suit WE, because it just meant that Lysandra was able to do her jobs during team fights and didn't really have to concern herself with the 1v1 laning phase, whereas this time we'll have to fight Lung at some point.
You can see Dandy actually dashing over the top here. Winter's Bite down as Zero flashes
Teleport.
the wall. Lung is, of course, teleported in. There's the parallel convergence. First blood this time goes to Vici. And that's 800 gold the lead.
Yeah, really nicely played there. So great teleport, nice and deep, not followed by anyone on the WE lineup. So respect that. They make the call quickly. Lung grabs it. He's going to be the split pusher already. We said that he kind of is the win condition. And they give him the big creep wave on the top side of the map. So Vici's intention's clear. They want Lung to be in a position to carry.
And that's beautiful as well. I mean, get them into a skirmish position. Create that vision towards the top side of the map and then pick someone off. This is where Vici were comfortable in game number 1. This is where they've been comfortable the entire series, split long here in the LPL. We'll see whether they can continue to make this one work, as Long more than happy up here towards the top side, but still even on farm.
We'll be able to pick up a little bit more right now. They're just clearing vision on the top side of the map to try and break this freeze that Lung had started to build up. He does so himself because he doesn't want to get zoned off all of that creep score. He'll go back. Has quite an impressive shot right now. Picked up first blood as well as an extra 20 CS.
Feeling good.
957 maybe in a little bit of trouble here.
He gets tagged by the Winter's Bite. Caveman being very accurate with those. Clears himself out of pink ward as well, which is the most important part. A lot of money invested early by WE in the vision department. You're right, as the dust settles, 957 falling behind. He's been zoned away as well as WE looking to try and get some damage down onto this inner turret. You can see Condi has made his way through as well. This is going to go down to beyond half health. It may actually fall as there's a lot of minions. Long makes his way in. Parallel convergence is down on top of the turret to try and defend.
Around.
Yeah, Condi's trying to grab this one as the stun does not land.
One more.
In goes Dandy. Does have the ultimate available as Mystic could be in trouble. Magical Journey's going to be taken. And everyone on Vici going to jump through as well. Caveman and Long tank themselves up a boomerang, but you can see no one coming. Teleport from Easy Hoon. He's going to get himself in there. Lots of pings. Everyone's on their way. A Zero completely out of mana. Can they manage to get the speed they need? And GA's in here. He's saying, yes, they can.
Teleport.
Yep, door goes up. Another teleport to come in. 957 down. Massive collateral damage as Dandy. Wild Growth is on top of him. There's a big ultimate out of Condi, though.
and all of Vici are going to actually benefit. GA picks up Caveman now as well, and it's a big team fight. WE able to turn it around. Lung in trouble. One more auto attack's going to be able to grab it here, and GA, if it's all 5-man, they can grab it.
When do you learn, Vici?
Yeah.
Endless is bottom side of the map, cannot fight at all at this stage of the game, and they just throw away what was a really nice play at the start of that.
Zero. That is so cheeky.
No, he's caught. Come on, Easy Hoon. Clean that one up. Oh, another teleport.
Yeah. Easy Hoon wants to be able to grab it. GA's here. Zero does fall down.
Okay, yep. So in the end, does fall down. Easy Hoon's able to grab that one. But it's still a 3-for-1, and they got a turret advantage out of it as well. And potentially a dragon going to go down. Let's take another look at this. So in the end, they drop the ward. They get a really nice teleport. And Lung has already burnt parallel convergence. So Dandy gets everything thrown onto him. And a really nice ultimate out of Kindred. And they just continue to kite back. But in an AoE setting, Siva, Lissandra, Karma are just going to be able to do so much more. And Dandy gets overzealous, and honestly, Easy Hoon probably didn't read the aggression and didn't go deep enough into this team fight. He wanted to pull out because he didn't have his AD carry there.
Nor did Dandy have any mana.
And it just meant that this WE lineup, once again, burst open the game. And look where the gold is one more time. 2 kills into their mid laner. Xie going to be set up for success one more time on this Karma. They grab a very early dragon as well at only 11 minutes into the game. That's going to start the Devourer stacking up nicely for the Kindred. And honestly, just draw every parallel you want to game number 2 because we're on a similar course, Atlas.
This is exactly what we're doing. Vici, turret disadvantage now as well as Endless completely out of mana, but throws down the culling. Mystic not exactly worried about having wave clear though, and is able to deal with that minion wave very, very quickly and effectively. Easy Hoon with an early Rod of Ages, feeling pretty good. And Long is farming out quite nicely here as well towards the bottom side of the map. 957 looking for something to do. But you're right, it's just deja vu. Once again, WE as comfortable as you like right now. Both jungle items are completed. Hexdrink almost done here for Dandy, who's been farming very well. That is something that we can say. He's back on the Graves. 24th time here in the LPL for this split. Skirmish Saber there as well, so wants to be able to get right up in your face and smack you down. 957 is going to meet Long. So Long set up with a fair bit of magic resist now. He's going to be comfortable here in this lane, and we'll see whether he can have that dominance that he had last time. Dandy, can he skip over this wall? Looks like Mystic will actually be safe as Zero speeding through, grabbing them meeps. Feeling good.
Grabs chimes, I think.
Yeah, he does, but
Produces
I just like
meeps.
saying meeps.
Well, check your facts, mate. Because he doesn't speed through and grab meeps.
Well, they're actually penguins. I don't even know whether you call them meeps with that skin.
I do.
They're actually just little penguins that follow him around. Freaking adorable. I like that skin a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan. And this one from Long. Aladdin, personal favorite movie.
Doesn't look anything like Aladdin.
Are you kidding? Prince of Persia. Either or. There's WE. Trying to defend their blue buff. Dandy, bit of extra damage, but Condi's going to be able to nab it and says thank you very much for the Devourer stacks.
Yeah, any denial away from Xie is a good news story right now, so getting it out of his hand, but he has already picked up a second item for his trouble. Condi, as you mentioned, is just farming pretty quickly right now to stack up that Devourer.
Yep, in that farm mode as Easy Hoon trying to get around here and get something done, but Zero's helping out with the wave clear.
And honestly, if we just go back into a slow-paced League of Legends game where we wait for the next dragon to come out, is going to be about, what, 17 minutes, 18 minutes, somewhere around that mark. WE look to execute cleanly on another team fight after they get another shop in. I would not be surprised because this is time and time proven that WE like to play League of Legends this way. A little bit disappointed in Vici that they haven't asked another question. Would have liked to see them go towards the Maokai comp, a little bit more hard engage.
Yeah, exactly.
Maokai's very good against Lissandra and Kindred, especially because of how the ulti works with the two. But was not to be, so can't really judge them in retrospect.
And it's just a bit crazy to do something very similar to the losing series once again, as Vici actually going to use the teleport to tank up this turret. Massive stun comes down as Jie just destroys him. Dandy gets caught in the Tempered Fate, making it a 2v3 right now as Vici forced to run away. They blow the teleport trying to get in on this turret and nothing happens. Mystic's still top lane.
That's just so telegraphed. Condi was also mid lane. That was a 3v5. And honestly, WE just dominated Vici right there.
And it was just so calm as well. I mean, they just knew exactly what was going on. Tempered Fate was there. It was a massive cosmic binding.
Base tank the empowered Q and then the ultimate out of Lissandra. I mean, I don't know what you exactly expect if that's going to be your outcome. Oh.
Well, Vici obviously expects something different
out
of the same.
Maybe just the first signs of frustration. They try and brute force a turret, and it just goes horribly wrong. But that's not what you expect to see out of Dandy's team.
No. Dandy as well now getting tagged by that Mantrid Q. Easy Hoon chasing after him, but there's the inner flame. Exactly right. Jie actually forced a flash. There's the exhaust out as Caveman's chasing after him. Long closes the gap, but not going to be able to dive the turret right now as Condi. Parallel Convergence is here. They don't get any stuns. Is Long going to be in a position to be able to create something here as there's the teleport from WE. Another team fight breaking out as Long in trouble. 957's trying to make his way in as Condi's able to pick up the kill with an auto attack. The slow comes out onto Caveman. And WE, it's just happening again.
Vici looks so frustrated right now, time and time again trying to force plays across Summoner's Rift Atlas. This is another outright force onto a Karma nonetheless. You see how deep they go. Condi still has ultimate here as well. There's just not many positive outcomes instead. Quick rotation over from the Sivir. Good teleport out of 957. Means that once again, the AD carry is just not in any position to be able to contest this team fight. Vici trade 2 for nothing one more time. And just desperation everywhere.
That was just all about Zero as well. That two-man cosmic binding and then everything over the top of it. This Bard is just too important to WE right now.
And I thought Bard was going to start becoming priority. You thought Lissandra was going to be priority. Neither of us are right.
Well, Lissandra was first picked.
Well, just ban it then. You have bans.
Exactly.
You're getting rid of Ezreal Kalista right now. Sivir is, like, arguably the strongest AD carry in the game. Fantastic utility. Awesome late game scaling.
And the fact that WE have used it so well in conjunction with the Karma. I mean, they've just started these team fights. They have so much flexibility because of all the movement speed.
It's effortless, honestly.
It has.
So Vici, after a strong performance in Game 1, dropping the ball a little bit in Games number 2 and 3 at least so far.
Still early days. 3,000 gold is the lead here for WE so far at 18 minutes. This isn't even where they're strong. I mean, you look more at like 35 minutes for the WE power spike.
Yeah, it certainly is. As I nearly choke on water. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But this has been where they've started to kick it off. You know,
exactly.
Between 0, 16, 17 minutes, they don't really get all that much done. A little bit quicker this time around because the opportunity did present itself. But around the 20 to 25 minute mark is where they do kick it into overdrive. And now with a 3,000 gold advantage, you expect them to be pretty comfortable.
You can see Easy Hoon getting pressure towards his turret. Does have a fair bit of wave clear now with the Lulu.
That is so satisfying, by the way.
Oh, God. That's so
where you
damage.
get the 15 gold every time you hit the turret.
Yep.
Because you're like, haha, I don't even have to fight you and I'm in this far more.
Yeah, and he has the CS advantage there as well by
And
about
3-0 3. 100% kill contribution right now for Xie. Karma is a little bit of a cheat. You just run into a team fight, hit E.
Yep, and you get every
Go,
assist.
my pretties.
Kill them all.
But
and try and snipe kills with your Q there as well. That's your other job.
Yeah, exactly right. You have seen that Xie's played it quite aggressively. I like the Karma play.
Yeah.
Don't know if you know this, Atlas, but I'm quite a fan of Karma at the moment in the current meta.
Really?
Might have mentioned it once or twice.
Oh, interesting. I didn't. You should probably explain to us exactly why.
I'm good. Oh.
Yeah, nailing it.
That's why.
Even with just one tag of the Mantrid Q, it's just so much damage.
Yeah, not even the back end coming in there. So they will continue to pressure up here. Lucian burns the ultimate to get rid of one creep wave, but you feel that now Zero's ulti becomes a big deal, as well as any dive pressure that they want to throw out. Cheeky 15 gold.
Yeah, just going to use his E to tank that one up. Oh, just Mantra's another one. Gets even more cheeky damage in there. Mystic able to utilize it as well. As better players crit more, as you could see. That was 2 Ricochet crits in a row. Clears out the entire minion wave, and Frost Queen's Claim just going to pressure them off this turret. Outer is going to be successfully sieged from a quite low-range comp, and that is bad news for Vici.
But they just have so much turret dive. I mean, with Lissandra, Bard, even with Condi's ultimate, they can honestly set up shop underneath the turret, have a cup of cocoa,
Yeah.
and they'll still be pretty okay.
Speaking of cups of cocoa, just a
Tempting.
sneaky one in the mid
Yeah.
lane.
I don't know if that's sneaky. We have. You're one of those people that think Shen's sneaky, aren't you? That's adorable.
He's one of the best ninjas.
But really, this game is exactly where WE wants it. They're in no rush. Never have been. They will capitalize on errors. Do not get me wrong. They are a very punishing team still.
Yeah.
But if Vici want to play a slow-paced game, they're more than happy to go there. Our question kind of has been is as WE start running into better opponents, the likes of EDG, RNG, QG, these great team-fighting teams, even Snake to a lesser degree in that regard, with kind of Tank coming into his own, how can they team fight against these teams? And let's put some hurt into Mystic. Not really much forthcoming, but against Vici at least, seems like all they do is wait for Endless to go on a little trip around Summoner's Rift, not be with his team, and they'll happily take a team fight.
Or just flat out fight 5v5 as soon as they possibly can, because it just seems like this is a team all on the same page. As Condi could potentially be caught out of position, but no, just hops himself away. He's going to be fine for now.
Still has ultimate as well, and it is a double TP comp. Both are available, so you never really want to overcommit onto a Kindred.
Yep.
Person you would like to catch is either the Bard or the Sivir. So we'll see if that is ever going to actually occur as well. Xie.
Yeah, teleport actually baited out here as Vici going to send Easy Hoon towards the top side of the map to answer Xie. Endless slinks back into the lane.
They're in behind the Echo as well.
Yeah, problematic stuff here as Frozen Tomb already down. Long flashing. Does have the ultimate. Will just go back, but everyone's still waiting for him. Nice slowdown there as the flash comes in, but that Circle of Frost, not exactly what he wanted. That phase dive was god tier, but there are the rest of the friends. And WE lock down the top laner. It's a cross map.
Yeah,
everything
they burn
going
every
on.
ultimate in an offensive manner that they have. Xie now looking for the Great Escape, is able to find it. Wasn't that great after all. It was just 1E.
That was pretty good. You know, didn't have to use too much, and he makes a pretty good escape.
And cross map. Now they can look for a potential dive onto Dandy or even a turret.
Yeah, Long teleport is available for when he respawns, but he's still dead for a time. That's a pretty magical journey. As WE are going to be able to make their way out, so they just grab a kill. Not going to get too greedy. 5,000 gold now the lead. And they're just continuing to move on.
Yeah, and why would you get greedy? You know, this is exactly how they want to play League of Legends. Dragons up in 45 seconds. Let's just reset, go back to base. We've got to say to devour Kindred. Let's control our neutral objectives. We're now fighting with a Phantom Dancer on our Sivir, as well as an extra BF sword. Pretty much an entire BF sword ahead, actually.
Yeah.
Whole item ahead in the mid lane. Phantom Dancer finished up for the Kindred. They're just ridiculously strong across the board right now.
Really scary. Teleport actually from Xie. He's going to make his way towards this. Dragon now is Caveman. They're looking for a pick. Unbreakable going to save him from a lot of that damage, though. And I mean, if they were sending a message, I think we got it. I'm trembling a little.
Yeah, they're not scared at all. They will fight at this stage of the game, looking to just clear out waves. Dragon has respawned. They send Echo back to base, and you feel that this is not Vici's last shot for the series, obviously. It's still a game to play, even if they lose this one. But for this game, they have to make something happen soon, because we've already seen Sivir's power late game, especially with a catch mage like Lissandra, throwing a Bard there for good measure. And it's just been too easy so far in the couple of games that they've had this composition. As they send in a flank, finally trying to catch Xie.
Yeah, there's the teleport in. Exhaust down immediately, but Xie just blows the flash. You can see Endless just gets destroyed on the backline, though, as WE continuing. Dandy caught out with the Tempered Fate. This Bard play is out of control, and the Graves is well and truly dead. WE grabbed 2 swift kills off what Vici wanted.
Yeah, exactly right. Vici try and pull the play with a great flank, but the problem is that Endless just got caught out of position and completely destroyed. Now they take down Dragon. They have a very quick Baron comp as well, with Karma to keep people topped off. And it looks like that's where they want to go. Lung doesn't have teleport available.
Oh, he's going to make his way back in with full health, but with Dandy dead, with Endless dead as well.
Condi still has ultimate.
It's going to be so hard. Yeah, look at all of these shields that are coming in right now as Caveman Unbreakables the boomerang. Easy Hoon needs a desperation play right now. They're both trying to get in there, but Kindred has the smite, and Condi locks down the Baron.
Yeah, about as much as they could hope for. They throw over the Glitter Lance and Winter's Bite at the same time. They both hit, but let's take another look at that. It's actually, wow, it is Zero. Zero just outright snipes Endless, and they destroy him. Then the follow-up damage comes in here. Danny,
Zero
unfortunately,
again.
not able to get out of the Bard ultimate. They just chase through, take him down. A lot of damage onto Easy Hoon. He can't follow up either. Zero is having back-to-back MVP performances.
Yeah, flat out. This guy is looking so incredibly good. And we said Bard probably should be contested. I don't think anyone is arguing with you right now, Spawn. I have a feeling that taking that away from Zero, giving it to Caveman, he's been good on it throughout this split. And Zero is just making it look like the best support you could possibly play, as this inhibitor turret is going to die. You can see Condi moving so far up in this fight. The Baroned up minions still heading through. Tempered Fate once again onto Dandy. Long trying to play in the front line, and Easy Hoon gets chunked out. This is going to be so hard as Mystic spell shields there, and just shields everywhere right now as Xie just taking care of his AD carry. It's like Karma, the damage version of Lulu. And it's working out really well. And AoE, it's just does feel like, at the moment, a better version.
Yeah, you see Xie using it very nicely to just have so much utility around Summoner's Rift. Hasn't got the outright save potential. I mean, Lulu's always going to have the wild growth. But you can see, using it to get forward, they pick up another turret for themselves. They're 11,000 gold pretty much in the lead now. Chunks Easy Hoon one more time.
Oh, parallel convergence not going to be able to be utilized now from Long.
I expect WWE just to back away. This is the kind of team they are, you know. Back away, reset. We've got ourselves an 11,000 gold lead. Let's go back to base, buy some nice items, some new toys.
Let the Super Creeps do some work, yeah.
You can see that's IE picked up. Another needlessly large rod. Sterix outright picked up for Condi. He's now impossible to kill.
This is so frightening.
Sheen picked up for Zero.
Oh, well, Iceborne Gauntlet Bard is pretty standard. We look at Zero's builds, and you're just like, normally, things are really mental. Right? But I don't feel like that is nearly as mental as Zero could go.
What?
Don't we see a lot? I swear, like most bards that you see build Iceborne Gauntlet as Condi dancing around, Dandy unable to pick him up.
Really? In competitive play?
Yeah, loads of them.
All right, I got to see that. I don't actually think that I see supports get to third items all that often.
Yeah. Definitely not with the Banner of Command.
See, the banner is the part that I feel is kind of standard.
I think that's awesome. But yeah, I don't know.
It's
just me.
Yeah. All right. There's a banner. Utilize one more time. And teleport coming in here.
Yeah, so Xie, he's going to be able to join this fight now as Long tries to find a stun, but instead he's just going to find half of his health bar missing. Now Endless actually so far up in this fight. Hasn't been, all that worried by it. But that was very, very ballsy. He's flanking this one out as best he can.
Flash and Ultimate was available on Lissandra. I feel like that could have ended disastrously.
He doesn't have a QSS either. I don't think he has any right being all the way up there.
There's the flash. Endless is just finally going to get punished. Now has the shield, but Caveman's going to fall down. They were just waiting for their window, and they pick it up. The inhibitor turret falls down now. It's Bard that picks up the kill credit for it there as well. Xie's running forward. Dandy not too tanky right now as the inhibitor is going to go down. This could be all she wrote as WE are pushing forward. Massive shields out of Xie. The culling comes down. As Endless was, of course, able to survive. Long chunked out one more time. Dandy as well trying to quick draw away. Has to flash. And look at the damage. Long, you ain't a tank. Not this game, as Mystic is going to destroy him. Endless, you have to be so careful. And WE, they're not done. Nexus turret number 2. It's going to go. Nexus now completely bare. And there it is. Lamb's Respite comes down. Dandy kiting around, but Condi's going to be able to pick up the kill. Zero's not even dead. Finally falls down to the piercing light as Endless can't finish it off. Easy Hoon going to get snared by the inner fire, and Vici just trying to pick up some back-end kills where they can. Nexus is going to go, and back-to-back games here for WE. All the momentum moving into match point.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, they're able to pick up a very clean performance one more time. I really want to hear the comms at the end of that game, because I feel like someone said to Xie, to 957, you could have flash ulted in there. And, and 957 was like, I still can, I think. All right, just do it. All right, there you go. We win the game.
That's how it works. We are going to have a look at some of the highlights here as well, as WE just looked so strong.
Yeah, they certainly did. This is the first game. Look where Endless is on the map. He's down in the bottom. And, you know, this was a close-ish team fight, but a huge heal out of the Lambs fight, coupled with a great Karma Shield, just means that they are the ones that have the damage to be able to consistently put up with the Vici lineup. And if that wasn't a 4v5, heck, it might be a little bit different. But Vici, why are you fighting 4v5s?
Yeah, and they just look desperate. Honestly, this is
This
a
was
Vici
a
lineup.
desperate play.
Yeah. And Caveman, I don't know, he evaporated. And each time, WE just took what Vici threw at them and said, well, thanks. We'll turn that into an even bigger lead.
Yeah, exactly right. And once again, just overcommitting
Look at Zero right
to
here.
the wrong members. And Zero's just able to continually get Bard stuns, putting in work. I expect another Bard MVP. 957 also had a much better game. All the impressive play of game one without getting solo killed.
Yeah.
So very nicely done. Once again, honestly, by the entire WE lineup, but especially their Bard support.
Yeah, and we'll see whether Vici can actually realize that something needs to change. They can't just play this same comp again because it just flat out didn't work.
Yeah, it certainly didn't. They've already shown that they're great Maokai players, right?
Yeah.
So why not just put Lung on the pure tank? Get some initiation, get some good flank potential and hard and engaged. Because that seems like what they're missing right now. Just that go button to get them in there.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Mystic has now got back-to-back games on this Sivir as well, and we've seen that the Lucian, if they get the lane swap, cannot actually find any dominance on this map. Endless was a bit of a non-factor throughout the last 2 games just because he's a Lucian, early game power, and then doesn't really do anything.
Well, that wasn't... so Lucian Lulu, I think, is still a great late game composition. Like, I don't buy into the fact that Lucian is really like early game. Like, Lightsling is just a great passive, and he should be able to duel. I will say that his positioning around the map, not necessarily in team fights, was pretty poor this game. That was not one of Endless's finer moments. So maybe get him on something like the Ashe, where he has to be very aware of his positioning, because we saw caught in the bottom lane, caught out by Bard on multiple occasions, just wasn't where his team needed him.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but we'll see whether Vici can finally make the adaptation. We are going to go to a short break, but when we get back, we'll see whether WE can close out the series or whether Vici